My game prediction was proved hugely wrong yesterday, and the Jacksonville Jaguars easily defeated the Tennessee Titans 20-7 in a game that wasn't as close as the score. And I would know because I watched that entire game at DJ's dugout, and it was worse than the score. And my game prediction that was hugely proven wrong by the Jacksonville Jaguars, the ferocious Jaguars, on Thursday night in Jacksonville was hugely proven wrong is the Titans would win 20-17 in a great, exciting, close game. It wasn't a great, exciting, close game. It was an undramatic, unentertaining, easy win for the Jaguars, winning 20-7 in a game they always led, never trailed. And also, Henry would run for one touchdown. I got that right, but got it wrong that Henry would run for more than 93 yards and 98 yards. And why I say both of those is because there were some parts of this Facebook video on the game prediction that I wasn't happy with, so I made a different one on YouTube that said the exact same thing, except didn't say the exact same details about Henry, which is an issue. It shows an issue with because I didn't write it down, but everything else was the exact same, except because I didn't write it down, then I said something different as far as the 90s. Except, anyways, I was both wrong about running for more than 93 yards, vertical arc more than 93 yards, and more than 98 yards because he was held to 44 yards because of a great Jaguars defense, because of the Jaguars defense that played great last night. And so I was wrong about that. I was also wrong about Mario to throw for one touchdown. He threw for 0 touchdowns. He didn't throw for one touchdown. He threw for 0 touchdowns. Titans defense would have 2 turnovers. Titans defense had 0 turnovers. And Jaguars, they got that turnover. They recovered a fumble on a punt after a punt, and after they recovered that punt, and the Jaguars were able to score the first touchdown, and they never looked back. They gained all the momentum after that. That was Murphy's Law. After the Titans fumbled that football and the Jaguars took advantage, recovering that fumble and scoring the touchdown, that's the complete turning point in this game where it all went, all the momentum gained by the Jaguars, and they never looked back because they always led in this game. So that was a huge backbreaker, and other huge backbreakers in this game was the fact that Minshew continued to have time for most of this game, which is why he completed more than 20 attempted passes, along with the fact that the Titans defense wasn't able to defend effectively for most of the game as far as against the pass, and also for the fact that the Jaguars' defense was ferocious, looked like the 1985 Bears because they sacked Mariota 9 times. They looked like Saxonville, the same Saxonville in 2017, one of the great defenses in 2017 that got them all the way to the AFC Championship game and was playing against the Patriots, winning against the Patriots, except they just weren't able to finish in the second half against the Patriots because the GOAT, Brady, led them to a valiant comeback, and Bortles, being Bortles, imploded in the second half. He was back. The Jaguars' defense, when a team gives up more than 9 sacks, that team that gives up more than 9 sacks is most likely isn't going to score above 7 points, and it's most unlikely not going to win that football game when that football team gives up 9 sacks. So that was extremely damn frustrating. Jaguars dominated them that way, and also I know this game was worse than the score. It was also not as close as the score would indicate, since again the Jaguars led for this entire damn game, and the Titans never led in this game, and they were never able to get it to single digits even after scoring that needed touchdown. They were never able to get it back to single digits even after scoring that needed touchdown in the fourth quarter. And also and this was also an extremely frustrating defeat because the Jaguars were winless, and now they're not winless because they defeated the Titans. And I saw also the Colts were winless, and then they defeat the Titans in the Week 2 game. So the Titans now have back-to-back defeats of where they've lost to division foes that were winless but no longer winless after defeating the Titans. So that's back-to-back division losses versus teams that were winless but were no longer winless after defeating the Titans Week 2 and Week 3. And the time amount of 5 days, because Sunday and then this Thursday, this Thursday, the Sunday of NFL Week 2, and then Thursday of NFL Week 3. So that's a really, 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 really damn frustrating that I end up seeing the Titans have a 2-game losing streak. I mean, losing streaks suck a lot, but this is one of the worst losing streaks I've ever seen them have because of those facts. And it was just extremely damn frustrating to see the Titans dominated for pretty much that entire game, starting exactly after that fumble, which was a huge backbreaker, and the Titans were never able to recover. Murphy's Law could continue to get shown for the Titans in this game. Whatever could go wrong did go wrong. And even more frustrating than that was the fact that even with all, there were terrible calls, but undeniably the Titans continued to choke with opportunities needed to win this game, to change the momentum of this game, because there was a pass thrown to Henry, and he had a lot of open area, and he wasn't able to catch the football. Because if he had caught that football, from what I saw, he would have had a lot of open space and be able to run more than 15 yards, and possibly for a touchdown. If not for a touchdown, that would have been a huge momentum changer that the Titans needed, and Henry knew that he choked on that because he went to the sidelines, he took off his helmet, and I could see from his face that he was really frustrated because he knows that was a great play that the Titans needed, and he wasn't able to capitalize off of it. Mariota put it exactly where needed. Mariota, he was missing passes, major passes that the Titans needed, because there was a deep pass to Sharp, and it was too far to the side of Sharp, so that's why he wasn't even attempting to catch the football, because it wasn't in his area. It wasn't a catchable football because it was more than an arm's reach distance away from him. So that pass wasn't thrown in the right area. There was another pass by Mariota where he didn't throw it like he threw it, and the Jaguars, he didn't throw it over the Jaguars defender in the far center deep back part of the end zone, where Titans wide receiver or tight end would have been able, the Titans offense player would have been able to most likely catch the football, because the Jaguars defender is like in front or standing on the goal line, and the Titans receiver is behind that Jaguars defender and further, like maybe in the center. So if he was just able to throw it in the far back part of the center end zone, then the Titans, that's a catch, and would have had a Titans needed touchdown, which I think that was the same drive in the second half, and the Jaguars were able to sack Mariota again and again and keep the Titans from scoring a needed touchdown on their first drive of the second half. And there was also on other misplays, there was I know the defense gave up that big run, which is another backbreaker, and even though the Jaguars didn't score on that because they went for on 4th and goal and the Titans defense was able to defend, that was still a big backbreaker because the Titans had issues moving the football as far as getting into scoring range, so it didn't look like they had any confidence to actually go more than 85 yards to get it into the end zone, and they didn't look like they were moving with like any sense of urgency, because it just looked like they were just accepting defeat. Let's just move the football, but let's not play with any urgency to actually try to get the touchdown, get the extra point, and then try for an onside kick. So it looks like they were just despairing, even though they got that football after the defense stopped, after the 2-minute warning, or before late in the game. And then also of other like missed opportunities, there was also a missed like lateral or close to a lateral throw to Humphreys. Again, that's on Mariota, and There were other passes where Mariota, he wasn't putting it in the right area, and that's on Mariota. He wasn't able to make those critical passes, get it in the right area needed. So Mariota had multiple passes where he didn't throw it in the right area that would have been big momentum changers. And the defense also had a big choke. They had a big choke, and when the Jaguars were far on the other side of the field, there was a pass that was, the football I think was like knocked up, and then it goes right to a Titans defender, I think a cornerback, and that cornerback he touches the football, but he's not able to hold on to the football. And if he holds on to that football, the Titans have great field position, and most likely they score a needed touchdown, which can change the entire momentum of that game. So that was the best chance the Titans had for a turnover. They had a interception literally slip right through a Titans defender's fingers. And this is an extremely frustrating defeat because I was really optimistic that Titans were going to be able to rebound after that frustrating fourth quarter meltdown, but instead they have a defeat worse than that fourth quarter meltdown versus the Colts when they played the Jaguars. Since the Jaguars always led in this game, they dominated this game from after the Titans had that turnover to the end. It was just an extremely frustrating game to watch, and also extremely frustrating that they go from one bad loss to an even worse loss in a game that they never led. And I was really confident that they would be able to turn it around in the second half, but except that they weren't able to do that because the Jaguars' ferocious defense continued to sack Mariota. So really feel like right now with this 2-game losing streak that like Sam Winchester and the TV show, one of my favorite TV shows, Supernatural, Sam Winchester is stuck in a time loop because the trickster wants to teach him that he can't save Dean. And nothing good comes from him being able to save Dean, and Dean dies in multiple ways. And once he dies, then like Groundhog's Day, the day gets reset. Dean dies in another different way, it gets reset, and then dies in another different way and gets reset. Until, of course, Sam figured out that the trickster is the one responsible for this time loop. Why he keeps on living in a Tuesday where Dean continues to die in a different way. In the same way, we feel like I am in a terrible time loop because the Titans lost to the Colts. And then days later, the same nightmare happened with the Titans losing to the Jaguars in a winnable game, and it was worse than that Colts loss to the Colts because this was another winnable game, except it's a game that they never led. I'm so confident the Titans can turn the season around, but this is just really damn frustrating that I go from Sunday, saw in person the Titans didn't win that game, and then I go all the way to Thursday. I'm optimistic the Titans are going to win this winnable game against the Jaguars, and rebound on a short week, and they can't rebound on a short week, so this just makes it seem even freaking longer to get to NFL Week 4 Sunday for the Titans having to go on the road against the Falcons, which is going to be a tough game. And I'll be really damn happy if they win, but even before getting to that NFL Week 4 game at the Falcons, it's still going to seem like a really freaking long wait because they've lost twice in the time amount of 5 days. So it's time to find out, see if the Titans is able to get the Titans to rebound and start playing great, because they're better than this 2 game. They're capable of playing better, and they need to start playing better, because otherwise the hole is just going to be even worse, and they're going to have a tough time. It's going to be really freaking high wall to climb to win that AFC South.